Okay, so we will see the next point in the process that we are going through is like diffusion. So in this diffusion process, we have seen two different uh, laws. One is Fick's first law and Fick's second law. Okay, so here we are basically uh, obtaining different possibilities of diffusion coefficient and how this diffusion coefficient is going to affect the overall diffusion process. Okay, so in the first case we have considered like diffusion was constant, so d was considered to be constant, and if d is constant throughout the process, then in that constant term it is divided into two different parts. If it is constant throughout the process diffusion process, that will be considered as infinite source diffusion. And if it is constant but its total diffusion in this diffusion coefficient, that is constant but having constant total impurity, that means in this constant uh, the impurity concentration is constant uh, overall. That means it is uh, uh, if once some atoms have been diffused, then the remaining will be less than the previous one. Okay, that means there will be reducing, but overall the impurity concentration is constant. But in the infinite source case, here the source of the dopant, that is dopant atoms, are basically constant throughout the diffusion. Okay, but in the second part, as the diffusion is going to take place, the diffusant atoms are going to reduce. Okay, so in both the cases we have seen, so if there is infinite source case, if there is an infinite source case, uh, that will be giving the profile of the diffusion in the form of an error function. Okay, so the diffusion process will be governed by the error function if the infinite source doping is diffusion is being considered. Okay, so at the surface and throughout the diffusion depth, the doping concentration will always be a constant one. So this is defined by error function, and once we are defining the error function, the overall this q value gives the overall or the total concentration of the dopant, that will be given by 2 n naught under root dt by pi. Okay, so this is the total concentration of dopant in the first case, and if we have plotted the different diffusion mechanism, different processes, diffusion processes at different temperatures, it has come like it has started at all the times. If we are doing three different diffusion at three different time duration, the diffusion has started with the same concentration, that is n naught. That's why it is called uh, infinite source of diffugent. Okay, so here it is not one for the after first diffusion there is no reduction in the concentration of diffugent at the surface. That's why it is always a constant. So that is n naught. It is equals to n naught. So that's why it's called infinite source diffugent. Diffusion. Okay. In the next part, we have considered constant total impurity. So total impurity or total diffusion concentration is constant. So in that case, the profile of diffusion is basically governed by the Gaussian profile. Okay, so in the Gaussian profile, this was the expression we have seen. So in that Gaussian profile, if we compare the basically the surface concentration, so here the surface concentration was basically given by this q divided by under root pi dt. This explains the uh, surface concentration. Okay, so once this explains the surface concentration, so here we have seen as we are going to increase the time, the surface concentration is going to reduce. Okay, so this was the indication. Like here it is not a constant always. Once the diffusion is started, as the time elapses, the concentration of the dopant will go on reducing. Okay, as we are going deeper into the diffusion, so diffusion rate is increasing, that means this surface concentration will reduce. So its plot was given by this was the profile. So here for the first time it is diffusion is started. It has started with N1 concentration. For the second time it has started with N2, that is lower than N1. Okay, so in the third case, if we are going to diffuse uh, make the diffusion process for the third time, so time duration, if further time duration is taking place the third time, then concentration will be reduced further, that is N3. Okay, so this was the case in case of uh, constant diffusion coefficient, but here the concentration of the impurity is fixed and it is going to reduce. Okay, in the second case, here we have considered that like diffusion coefficient is a function of doping. If diffusion coefficient is a function of doping, based on the doping, like it is directly proportional to n times, it will be given by this as the diffusion coefficient. If n is square, this was the diffusion coefficient. That will be always if it is directly proportional to n cube. So this is the diffusion coefficient value. Okay, so it is like it is proportional to the powers of n, that is concentration of the dopant, basically. So it provides us a box like profile. Here we are getting a box like profile. So the profile that is found out in terms of diffusion coefficient is a function of doping concentration, that is a box type profile. Okay, so till now we have seen that. So the next point we will be seeing is the effect of temperature, basically. So now we are going to see, basically we will be seeing the effect of temperature. Okay, so this diffusion process takes place basically at higher temperature. Okay, so as we have to provide a high temperature environment for diffusion to be taking place, so there may be a chance, like if we are increasing the temperature of the chamber, and the semiconductor that we are using is of intrinsic semiconductor. So as we are increasing the temperature, the in case of intrinsic semiconductor, if we are increasing the temperature, there is a possibility like there will be a concentration increase. There will be uh, holes and electrons. Higher number of holes and electrons will be generated. So the concentration of charge carriers will increase as we are increasing the temperature. If we are increasing the temperature in the intrinsic semiconductor, the concentration of charge carriers inside the intrinsic semiconductor will increase. So in that case, if the charge carriers have been increased, so there will be some different possibilities, different combinations, like how this uh, higher temperature is going to affect the diffusion. So suppose at diffusion temperature, so basically at diffusion temperature that is of high value, or we call it higher temperature is there, because for diffusion to take place high temperature is required. So at diffusion temperature, or we call it at higher temperature, there is a possibility, there is two different possibilities. The first case is like, suppose the concentration of intrinsic the concentration of intrinsic semiconductor, that is n of intrinsic semiconductor, can be higher than the concentration of impurity. impurity, that means doping concentration. Dopant, whatever the concentration of dopant is there, that is the impurity concentration. So there is a possibility like the concentration of intrinsic semiconductor is greater than the impurity concentration, or there is a possibility like it is the concentration of intrinsic semiconductor is less than the concentration of impurity, or we call it the dopant. Okay, or the dopant concentration. So if the concentration of intrinsic semiconductor is higher than the impurity concentration or the dopant concentration, so this case of diffusion process can be considered as the case where the diffusion coefficient that we have considered is constant. Why? Because here intrinsic semiconductor is concentration is very high compared to the impurity or dopant concentration. So dopant concentrations are very less than in comparison to the intrinsic semiconductor. So this could be considered as like the diffusion coefficient can be considered as a constant. Okay, because the impurity concentration is very less, so it could be seems to be a constant diffusion will be taking place. So it is the case of constant diffusion. In case of intrinsic semiconductor, that is less than the impurity concentration, so here is the case like it could be indicated like the diffusion coefficient that we are having, that will be a function of the concentration. Okay, so here that will be considered as the function of concentration. So whatever diffusion coefficient is there, that will be considered as the function of impurity or the dopant, because the concentration of impurity is higher than the semiconductor concentration. So that will be considered as the possibility of diffusion, that is a function of impurity. Okay, so these two functions, these two effects we have already seen how it is going to affect the diffusion. So basically, if the concentration change is there, if intrinsic semiconductor concentration is having a less higher concentration, then it will be considered as the diffusion when the diffusion coefficient is constant. Okay, so that means if diffusion coefficient is also constant, it could be of two different type, that is of infinite source or a total constant impurity concentration. Okay, so this is the case like it could be an error function type, or it could be a Gaussian type. But in case of the function that is here, that will be considered as like it will be a box type profile, box like profile that we have seen previously. Okay, so the next point we will see is if d, that is diffusion coefficient, that is the function of concentration of the dopant, basically concentration of dopants, then in this case uh, we know that the diffusion is the process. So diffusion is the process where we have seen the diffusion. This diffusion process basically occurs if there are some defects, or you can say vacancies are available into uh, the crystal or semiconductor crystal, whatever silicon crystal we are using. So if there is a defects or vacancies available, and these defects and uh, vacancies are occupied by the dopants, then this process is considered to be a diffusion process. Okay, but these vacancies or the defects that we have considered, through which the diffusion will be taking place, these vacancies are basically these vacancies or the defects that we have seen is dependent on basically depends on basically depends on the concentration of charge carriers, or basically depends on the charge density, we can call it the charge density. So this charge density will be in terms of hole and electrons. Okay, so if the vacancies that is available into the semiconductor crystal, that depends on the charge density, like in terms of holes and electron concentration. Okay, so in that case, as the vacancies are available, the vacancies available will depend on the hole and electron concentration. Similarly, these vacancies will be having a direct relation with the diffusion. So this diffusion will be depending on these vacancies, and these vacancies are dependent on the charge concentration or charge density. That means, oh, directly or indirectly we can call it like the diffusion that we have considered. So this diffusion is dependent on the charge concentration. Okay, so the diffusion that we are considering here, the diffusion is dependent on the charge concentration. Okay, so this is the case in case of where the diffusion coefficient has been depending on the charge concentration of dopant basically. Okay, so now we will see in practical cases what takes place is like the diffusion is basically in practical cases, the diffusion is basically the combination of case 1 and case 2. So because in the previous case we have seen like, if here in this case, if we are considering the effect of temperature, the difference in impurity concentration and the difference in the intrinsic semiconductor concentration, it is considered to be different coefficient can be considered as either constant or a function of uh, impurity charge carriers. Okay, basically charge carriers here are intrinsic or impurity concentration charge carriers. Okay, and if we are considering the concentration of the dopant, in this dopant concentration, basically it will be the case like it is having the direct relation with the second case, where the diffusion is a function of concentrations, dopant concentration. Okay, so both the cases are basically the cases that will be taking place while we are performing the diffusion. So if we are performing the diffusion, so this uh, diffusion will be considered as the combination of case 1 and case 2. Okay, this is called in case of practical. So practically diffusion is going to take place, there will be condition of constant diffusion also, and there will be a condition of diffusion coefficient that is a function of charge concentration. Okay, so the first case that we have seen, that is when diffusion coefficient is constant. So when diffusion coefficient is constant, the process that we define is called, this is the process that is defined, is basically called the pre-deposition. So when diffusion coefficient is constant, and at that time at constant diffusion, what is the diffusion going to take place is called pre-deposition. So in this pre-deposition, the total concentration of dopant is given by 2 n naught divided by under pi uh, into under root d t, that we have seen in the first case when d was constant and having the infinite source. Okay, so we have seen it from there. The second case is like when d is constant, but that is having the function is like it is not a constant, it is going to reduce. The diffusion coefficient is not constant, where diffusion coefficient is a function of concentration or any other. In that case, the surface concentration that we have seen in the second case, when diffusion in the constant case, that is having constant dopant impurity. In this case, we have seen like the surface concentration Ns that was defined was the function of Q, that is the total dopant concentration divided by under root pi dt. Okay, so in overall diffusion, the critical diffusion will be taking place, that is considered as the pre-deposition, and after that the pre-deposition, the second step that is there is considered as the drive in diffusion. So this is pre-deposition diffusion. This is drive-in diffusion. Okay. So pre-deposition will be taking place when D is constant. So at the starting, when the process has started, the diffusion process has started, that will be considered as always that is considered as pre-deposition, where the dopant concentration will be given like this. In the second case, as the time elapses, the second case will come out like it will be keep on reducing the dopant concentration at the surface. So as the diffusion has moved beyond the surface, there will be reduction in the concentration, doping concentration. Because the doping concentration has been reducing, and that in that case, the surface dopant concentration Ns will be given by this. Okay, so these two processes are like, if we need to perform diffusion, so at t equals to 0, the pre-deposition will be taking place. So after t is h equals to 0, for t is greater than you can say 0, the process that we will be dealing with is called the drive-in process. Okay. So at the starting, the first position pre-deposition will be taking place. As the diffusion progresses, it will be drive-in process or drive-in diffusion. Okay. So in that case, we will be considering like this. This is considered as time t1, suppose it is considered as time t1, and this is considered as time t2. So the same diffusion process at t1 time, this will be taking place, like pre-diffusion will be taking place. At t2 time, the drive-in process will be taking place. Okay, so by these two relations, if we consider, so at t1 and t2, if we are going to find, so ns, that was the surface concentration, is given by q divided by pi and dt. So dt diffusion will be different for different times. So suppose it is t2, so it is d2, and t2 time it is t2. Okay, and in that first case, we are considering it as t1. So we will be defining d1 as the diffusion coefficient at the first time, and t1 at the first time. Okay, by putting this q value, we can get like 2 and naught divided by under root pi, and again pi square we call it, and then it is d1 t1 divided by d2 t2. We can remove this. Okay, when square is there, we will be removing it, and it will be only the pi. Okay, so ns, that is surface, by combining these two processes, we have considered ns surface concentration will be coming out to be this. So from there, we can depict some points. So like uh, the first that process we have to consider, pre-deposition. So pre-deposition takes place for very small duration of time, and drive-in process is considered for a higher duration of time. Okay, so that means if d2, if drive-in is considered for higher duration of time, that means this will be very high compared to this value d1 d1. So we can call it like as d1 t1 is very less than d2 t2. Okay, why this is, because the basically the drive in process takes place for higher duration of times. Okay, so this driving process is going to take place for higher duration type. So this is the condition. So if this is the condition, this is implies like the ns from this formula. If this is very high compared to this one, that means ns is going to be considered as very less than the n naught. Okay, so n naught is this the n naught. So in that case, this is going to be the condition. That means the surface concentration for higher time duration while diffusion process is going to take place at higher duration of time, ns will be very less than the n naught. And here n naught is the maximum value of you can say the dopant concentration that can be possible, that is given by solid solubility limit. So this is the maximum value, or we call it concentration, maximum concentration of dopant possible, that is considered as the solid solubility limit, and that is given by n naught. That was the case in case of infinite source dopant was used. Okay, so here if we are combining the pre-deposition and the drive-in process, the surface concentration will be very less compared to the n naught value. Okay, and this is because the surface concentration will keep on reducing as the time elapses. So that's why this type of technique is basically used while we are fabricating the BJTs. Okay, so in BJT fabrication, we will be basically using this concept. So what is the advantage of this concept in BJT fabrication is, if we are going to have the fabrication, so the first is we have substrate. Into this substrate, either p type or n type, okay, we will be first we will be depositing the base. Okay, so we will be depositing the base. So this is the base region. So base region is of very thin uh, concentration is there while depositing the base. You can call it base deposition. So for base deposition, very thin layer of diffusion is uh, required. So this is considered like, for base deposition, it will be like the pre-deposition. If we have done the pre-deposition, the base will be deposited. But if we want to deposit this emitter concentration or collector concentration, so here for emitter or collector concentration, we have to deposit here. So this type of diffusion will be taking place because this to be taken place for higher duration of time. So this is like a drive-in process. This can be deposited by using the drive-in step of diffusion process. Okay, so that will be taking place for higher doping concentration. Okay, if drive-in is going to take place, then it will be taking place the immediate diffusion. Okay, so this is the case that is used in case of BJT fabrication. So if we are doing the pre-deposition, the base will be deposited. If we are going to diffuse further, that means the emitter will be deposited by using the drive-in process. Okay, this type of example is used basically in case of different applications. Next point that we will be seeing is, so as we have seen, for different time durations, different for different time duration, different diffusion coefficient and different times have been used while performing a diffusion process. So overall, if we consider the overall diffusion, okay, overall diffusion into T, that is dt, that is diffusion coefficient into T, is the important parameter in case of diffusion. So if the diffusion is being done in different steps and different for different duration of times, then the overall diffusion uh, coefficient multiplied by T, that is considered as the dt effective. So this dt effective is basically given as the d1 t1 for time 1, what is the diffusion coefficient multiplied by t1 plus d2 t2 and so on. Okay, so overall, if we are going to add the and dt for different duration, then overall dt effective will be obtained. So this type of diffusion, that means diffusion in steps, are called, basically called, successive diffusion. If you are going to perform the diffusion in different steps, this is called the successive diffusion. Okay, and as we are going to make this diffusion process at higher temperature, so it is going to affect the diffusion process. So if we are going to use uh, any high temperature, any high temperature processing is going to affect the diffusion process. That means if we are going to perform any different diffusion for different time duration and different uh, with a different diffusion coefficients, if we are going to perform the same diffusion process for different uh, temperature, or we call it, suppose diffusion temperature that is required is suppose T1. T1 is the diffusion temperature that is required for performing the diffusion. And if some other process is there, suppose we have seen previously oxidation or different other temperatures process is there. Suppose now we need to perform the oxidation, and this oxidation is going to take place at T2 temperature. And if T2 is greater than T1, that means this is the temperature for oxidation and this is temperature for diffusion. Okay, in that case, if T2 is higher than this T1, then the higher temperature requirement of other processes can affect the diffusion process temperature, because diffusion process temperature is less. It requires only T1 temperature to make the diffusion. But if some other process is there that is requiring T2 temperature that is higher than T1, then that higher temperature processing will affect the diffusion process. Okay, so if that is the case, in that case, what happens, we basically avoid higher temperature processes in case of uh, semiconductor fabrication. So here basically we will be avoiding use of high temperature processes. So we will be basically avoiding the high temperature processes in semiconductor fabrication. So if we are going to fabricate a semiconductor chip or IC or device, we need to make sure like the processes that we are going to use should be having less temperature requirement, so that it is not going to affect the diffusion process. Okay, so in that case, uh, basically if uh, each fabrication, basically in case of VLSI technology, this each fabrication process are basically encouraged to go for low temperature process. If low temperature process is being encouraged, that means there will be a less effect on the that diffusion process. Okay, uh, this is because it is requiring less temperature, and high temperature will affect the diffusion process. That's why this diffusion process is basically done in two steps. That's why it is done in two steps. Okay, so that this, if we are doing with two step, that means pre-deposition, and the second step is drive-in process. Okay, so in the first step we will be performing the pre-deposition, second the drive-in process. So to reduce the requirement of temperature, we do this diffusion process in two different steps. That's why if it is two step process, that's why the second step that we are using, that is drive in, that is showing the Gaussian profile, and in that the second step drive-in process is taking place for larger duration of time. That's why overall we can call it the diffusion process. That means this basically results in overall the profile of the diffusion will be overall results in overall Gaussian profile of the diffusion. That means if uh, we consider the overall profile of the diffusion, that will be in Gaussian profile nature. Okay, because the driving process takes place at a higher temperature in comparison to the uh, pre-deposition process. Okay, so overall we can call the diffusion is of Gaussian profile nature. So that is the for the today's lecture. In the next lecture, we will see some different topics, some different points of diffusion, basically. Okay, so